episode I wasn't sure was ever going to happen, and I'm not sure if there'll ever be an episode 36, but here we are. I felt like doing one of these today. Hooray! My name is Catherine. You can find me online at my blog, BackstagekatKnits.com. That's where I do most of my knitting content now, as well as Ravelry as BackstagekatKnits, and Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as BackstageKath. I post various levels of amounts on those various things. My blog is probably the most consistent if you're interested in knitting content. So yeah, a lot has changed since episode 34. I think it's been like at least 2.5 years, because I've moved, and I moved just about 2 years ago. I moved Thanksgiving weekend in 2019. So I'm coming at you from outside of Hartford, Connecticut, and not beautiful downtown Hartford, Connecticut. I still live in Connecticut. Like, I can see Hartford from my window, but I'm not downtown. And yes, I've moved to a condo in the suburbs. Fancy. So yeah, glad to be back. Like I said, I just kind of felt like doing this today. I haven't been able to blog in a while. I haven't really had the mental energy, and for some reason, like, this felt more like something I wanted to do right now. So, might be a little rusty. I actually recorded a whole thing last night that I decided was not very good, so we'll go with this one. I have notes for this one today, which I'm hoping will help me be a little less ridiculous. So, let's start with finished objects. I'm just going to pretend that, like, I podcasted 2 weeks ago and not go over every finished object I made in the past 2.5 years, because that seems boring. So I'm going to kind of do the most recent things. And really the main reason I wanted to podcast today is this. I had like a whole blog post for a faux Friday planned, but then it was really, really rainy and gross Friday, and then yesterday, like, I got some pictures, but just they weren't looking good, so I just like, let me get some videos where it's like nice and in motion, and I look less weird than just like awkwardly standing and smiling. So this is the shawlography. It was a Stephen West MCal this year. So if you're unfamiliar with how the West Knits Mystery Knit Along works, actually, I don't want to put this around my neck yet. You get, 1 clue, 4 weeks in a row, and I actually finished this kind of like on time, in that I finished the knitting the Thursday after the Friday, and the clues come out Friday. The Thursday after the Friday came out. So I did finish it in 4 weeks. Didn't block it for like another week, and it's like the week and a half after now, but I really, really like this. I made this out of 5 colors of Neighborhood Fiber Co. Studio Sock, which is their 100% organic merino sock yarn base, and the 5 colors are Canton, which is this bright teal. It's getting a little blown out, just because of like where I am in front of windows and stuff, but Canton is the teal. Charles Center is this light gray, color B. Broadway Market is C, that's this navy. Block Party is D, that's this purple. And then Thomas Circle is the dark gray. I'm really proud of myself for picking colors that looked good together. I bought them online, so it was, kind of a guess, but I'm really, really happy with how they flow into each other. When I got them, I was considering switching the purple out for something. Actually, let me grab it. For this, which I got a while back, which would have made the whole thing a little bit more subtle. It's like a very light sort of pops of teal and stuff, so I think it would have looked good, but just a much different color palette, much more subtle. And I'm glad I stuck with the purple. I don't personally love the purple and the teal next to each other, like in this section. That color's a little bit better. But really that's just this like one tiny stripe, and elsewhere they look good. I did knit this pretty much exactly as written, with 2 exceptions. So I did switch the colors around in section A, in that you're supposed to go like C-A, D-E, C-A-D-E, but I went back and said C-D, or whatever, C-E-D, right? So it's a mirror. And then I did the same thing on the border. where again you're supposed to just stripe each of the colors, but I decided to do it like that with kind of like a mirror. And I really liked that because I liked how I had like 3 neutrals and 2 pops, and I didn't want there to be 2 neutrals next to each other. So I kind of did that. And I'm really, really happy with how the border turned out, especially. Yeah, so I wear it like this. I wear it with these cool tights I got. Yeah, the slippers really make this outfit. But I love this outfit with the tights and the gray dress, and it looks so good. I always kind of feel bad wearing shawls like this because you don't like see this part really as much, but I would try to wear it like this, except for 2 things. Thing 1 is I always feel like a little grandma-ish doing this. I'll do this at work if I'm really cold sometimes, but it always feels a little awkward. And 2, with where this hits at like the widest point, it's in this triangle section, and I didn't do a great job on the last row of keeping my floats long enough, so it does kind of pull a little bit. Well, it's actually not that bad now, but depending on where it hits, it does pull. But it is nice to kind of have that really pretty section A or clue 1 that you can see. But I will probably, in reality, wear it like a scarf, because that is how I wear my shawls. And I really, really love the little wings. I think these were clue 2 that did the end of the wings, the short rows. And I love how that like adds depth and shape to the shawl without, like the rows at the end weren't 900 stitches long like they were last year. And people have said this is smaller, but for me it's still a pretty decent schlankety size shawl. I did go up a needle size. That was my second modification, I guess. So I'll keep that on for now, although because it is in the morning, it's a little sunny in here, it may get a little warm. So we'll see how long this stays on. But overall, super duper happy with it. It's just so much fun to knit the Stephen West knit along. You learn all sorts of crazy techniques. You never know what you're going to get, which some people don't like, but I personally do. A lot of people I saw were unhappy with section 4. I liked it. I like kind of the big statement border. Some people thought it didn't go with like all these crazy textures, but I like the balance. So it works for me. I'm not as annoyed about these like open holes, crisscrosses as I thought I would be. So overall, really good, super fun. 2 other of my like core group of, there's 4 of us in our knitting club, made this with me. So it was really fun to just kind of compare how we were doing. And yeah, really happy with it. Alright, that was much more babbling about that than I did last night. So not really off to a great start, but let's keep going. Works in progress. I've got 2 that I'll show off that I'm actively working on. One of the reasons I stopped podcasting is I've become very much a monogamous knitter, where even during the pandemic, I sort of had one project that I was working on. And pre-pandemic and now, I'm going into the office a couple days a week. I like having one like big project and one on-the-go project. I don't know if I call myself, I guess people would define me as a project knitter versus a process knitter. I like the process of knitting a lot. I'm in it for the process, right? I enjoy just making things, and there's been times when I've like cast on something because I wanted something to do and then tore it up because I was like, I didn't really want to make this. I just wanted something to do with my hands. So, I am, I think, a process-based knitter, but on the same time, I like to see progress. And I get, I don't want to say like annoyed, but finicky and fiddly when I'm like not seeing any progress. So I usually work on like 1 or maybe 2 things at a time. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I've got my socks that I've been bringing in when I go to the office because I have a 25-minute bus ride. I can knit on the bus. And then I have a sweater that I'm working on at home. So let's do the socks. These are the Monkey Socks by Cookie A. And as you can see, I have a half object already. These are the monkey socks, but I did them toe up, so if you've knit the monkey socks, yours probably look like that. I did them toe up, and I used the toe up, heel flap, and gusset-ish, because I do a 68 stitch sock from the Fine and Dandy Socks by Jessica Gore. So that has a toe up, that has a eye of partridge heel. To make this pattern in 68 stitches to fit me better, I just add one extra stitch in the middle there, and I do a purl stitch when these are pearls, and a knit stitch in those 3 rows when the pattern calls for you to knit. So, yeah, pretty easy mod. As you can see, I'm past the heel on the second sock. I think I have like 2 and a little bit more full repeats to go, so hoping to get these done maybe this week, if not probably next weekend. I'm knitting these out of, there it is, Farmer's Daughter fiber. So I got the Sock Squad this year, of which you can actually see that one later, but all of the Sock Squad here, haven't knit any of them except this one, so hooray. But this is the September colorway, which is Fantastic Mr. Fox, and this is the Highwood sock base. Excuse me. Which is the 80/20 superwash nylon base. So I really love this color. It was like the perfect fall color. And yeah, they're really nice and pretty. And hoping to finish these off soon. I feel like I haven't finished a pair of socks in a long time, which is probably not true, but no, it's definitely not, because I finished a pair of socks like October 1st, but I haven't worn them yet because I haven't blocked them yet, so socks for me are like, I like them as go-anywhere projects, and so if I'm not going anywhere, I don't really like focus on socks a lot, and now I'm just like, I want all the handmade sweaters and shawls, so yeah. Speaking of handmade sweaters, this is my other main whip. This is the Wavelength sweater by Tina Say. I'm actually going to show you the back because I'm doing sleeves 2 at a time, so you can't really see the front. So I have the body done, and I'm like maybe somewhere between a third and a half of the way through the sleeves. Like I said, I'm doing them 2 at a time, so it's a little bit hard to see. But I'm knitting this out of 3 skeins of yarn. Let me look at the other 2. So the main yarn is Valley Yarns Superwash DK. This is a Webs yarn in their steel gray colorway. I really like this Superwash DK yarn. I made actually another Tina Say sweater, the Golden Horizon, from it. It's just like a good, cheap workhorse yarn. It's one of my favorite things to do is like make most of the sweater, and I love Tina's patterns for this in like a very, more budget yarn, and then like if there's color work or stripes, do that in like a special yarn for a pop of color and to keep the cost of a handmade wardrobe down a little bit while still getting to include awesome indie dyers and fancy pretty yarn in your projects. So this, in the pattern, all the color work is one color, but I really wanted to use this skein, which is a one-of-a-kind skein from one of my favorite dyers, Fully Spun, and this is her Postscript DK, which is 100% superwash, and yeah, like I love this rainbow, but I only had 1 skein of it, so needed more, and I decided to supplement it with some Teeny Button Studio, another dyer who I love. Robin is awesome. Her and her mom actually just started their podcast up again, so check them out. It's called Sherry Pearls Podcast on YouTube. And this is reading a little more washed out than it appears in real life, but such is the color today. This is Eyes of Emerald Green in her soft DK base. This was a Dolly Parton inspired colorway. So I'm kind of just, I did the like 1x1 rib on the top and the bottom. And then I was a little worried about yardage, so I contemplated just like skipping this color work section on the sleeve. It's the same as this one, but I thought it would like look really weird to not have just like a long period of stockinette with no color work on the sleeves, so I decided to do it in the green because I had plenty of this yarn, and then there's another stockinette motif that I didn't do, or another color work motif I didn't do on the body, but I should have enough for it in this, so I'll do this on the sleeves with that. And then there's one more little like 1x1 color work with some words, and I'm still trying to decide what I want to do at the bottom, but I'll do that in the green as well. I am slightly worried about yardage. I only have, so I have, these are the 2 skeins I'm working with on the sleeves, and then I have 1 more full skein. So I think it's doable. The sleeves might be a little bit short. We're kind of winging it. I did not do a gauge swatch on the sweater, which kind of came back to bit me because even though I added so they had options, right? You could do a cropped, or there's a cropped and a full. And the cropped just kind of ends here, like all this went away, right? And the full has another colorwork motif and then this colorwork motif, right? But the length of this is the length of the cropped because my row gauge is really short. I also ended up going up a whole nother size. That's why this top looks a little bit weird right now. I started with a 6 but went to the 7 size to make it fit like the 6 in terms of number of inches around. So it fits. I tried it on. It looks good, but yardage is a little bit funky, and this top looks a little bit weird, but I think once it's on and once it's blocked, it'll look a little better. I still didn't do a great job with controlling floats in this first row, so it's always going to be a little bit of funkiness, but overall I really, really like it. I love the bright pops of color. I love the more sort of neutral contrast between the green and the gray, and yeah, I think it's going to be an awesome crop top. I'm hoping to finish it. I'm off tomorrow. Today's Sunday. I'm off tomorrow and Tuesday, so I don't think I'll quite be able to get it finished, but I'll come close, definitely trying to finish this off this week. All right, so those are my whips. What am I going to work on next? So probably another pair of socks. I have many things to choose from. I think I might go with this November colorway from the Sock Squad. It is the Bear Paw sock, which has 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, and 10% nylon. And I've been really excited to try this. And when this color, I was like, ooh, when this color came. This is one of my favorite colors. It's the same color as my ranch coat, so it's not perfect. Again, today, I have to fuss with how I make colors better, but it looks really pretty. It's literally the same color as my ranch coat. So you can go on the blog and see a more accurate description of what that looks like. So that'll probably be my next pair of socks for, going on the bus knitting. I also have an Afterthought Everything socks that I cast on when I went to see Met Opera in theaters. So I might work on that, or I might just kind of leave that forever when I need to go to a theater again. We'll see. Afterthought Everything socks are nice, but they are the true, go places and not pay attention socks for me. So if I'm, in a place where I can pay attention, I'd rather work on something that, has a little bit of a pattern or has some shaping to it or something. I have 2 sweaters that I want to knit. Both are cardigans, and both have color work, and I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I really want cardigans now in my life, but I keep not knitting cardigans, so I really need my next sweater to be cardigans. And really the question is, how heavy do I want it, and how deep stash do I want to go? I think, I'll tell you what I'm less leaning towards. I debated, so, okay. I got this yarn last year for Christmas, and the yarn was a kit for a pattern. I went back and forth as I wanted to knit that, but I think I decided I'm going to knit the pattern it came as a kit for instead of trying to find something else that it fits. So, the pattern is the Stone Crop Party by Andrea Mowry. There's a pullover and a cardigan version, but I want to make the cardigan. And the yarn is Neighborhood Fiber Co. / Plied, which I think is a collaboration with Neighborhood Fiber Co. and someone else, or a different brand. But it's Neighborhood Fiber Co. Studio Sock, the same yarn I made this out of, so really nice. And this is the David Hess colorway, so it's this gray with these pops. This is not showing up on this camera at all, but pops of fuchsia and purple. Kind of like a bluish, purplish gray base. So that's the main body. There's 5 skeins of that. And then there's these 2 little 50-gram skeins of the Plied North Ave, which is 100% wool. And it's like this beautiful barber pole, purple and gray and black. And this is the Poe colorway. So Stonecrop Party is like color work and baubles, and it's really pretty. I'm hoping I have enough of the Poe. I mean, that's what the kit came with, so we'll see. But it's a fingering weight sweater, and yeah, kind of drawn towards heavier weight stuff because it is getting into, winter in Connecticut, and it tends to be cold. So my other option is the Choristafine by Isolde Teague, and I actually got this kit from Isolde's website when she was still selling yarn, so I bought this when I was at the old place. It's at least 2 years old. Whereas that one's only 1 year old. And it's a Letty Lopey thing. So, pattern. There are 5 colors in it. There's 1 skein of each of these, and 2 skeins of this gray, and a bunch of the light gray, and it's this really pretty yoked cardigan that has like little foxes details on it. So I think I'm being a little bit more drawn, as I've recorded this section twice now, I think I'm being a little bit more drawn to this Letty Lopey, the Choristafine, because my friend was wearing one the other night, and I was like, I want like a nice big warm sweater. So I think that will be next. Both are colorwork cardigans. Both require steeking, a thing I've not done before. I feel like I'm excited to make this, but also it's like less investment if something goes really wrong. I feel like just in terms of number of stitches and money to buy this commercial yarn versus the sand-dyed. So I think I'm going to go with this one as like a first steeking project, just in case. I'm pretty confident, but just in case. So that'll probably be my next project. And yeah, one other thing I wanted to show off was these really awesome kits I got one for me, and it's a design your own ornament kit. This came from the Canadian Stitchery, a shop I found on Etsy, and it's really awesome. So it comes with this little like ornament that you cross stitch to make your own ugly sweater, and it comes with a pattern, so you can plan out your colors if you want to, which is really awesome. And then a touch that I really like is it comes with this adhesive felt backing, so that like you put it on the back of your sweater, and the ornament's not double-sided, but you don't see like all your weird ends if the ornament turns around on the tree, which I think is really cute. And then like a little string for you to ornament it. So I will try to get that done before Christmas, which I think is doable. This is like an afternoon long project. So yeah. And then yeah, that's my life. Things are going well. Otherwise, this past week was a little nuts because I had a possible COVID exposure, so I was stuck at home, but it's all good. I tested negative, my parents tested negative, so we're fine. But yeah, it was kind of annoying being home all week. I started going to the office like 3 days a week, and in January, I'll be going in 4. For me, that's really needed. I do much better when I have like a work area and time and a home area and time, and I was pretty good about like not working at all crazy hours when I was at home, but I just didn't like how like this was also my workspace and my home space, and I tried to like bring my computer downstairs and got a little desk for down there, but it was just kind of a struggle for me to be at home consistently. 100% the right thing to do. Happy to do that during COVID. I did not need to be in the office, but now that I feel like I can do it more safely, now that, I think 85% of my job is vaccinated and people are getting boosted, and hopefully I'll be boosted soon, I just feel like, and we know more about the disease and how it transmits and stuff like that, I feel like I personally, going into the office is the right thing for me. recognize that people are annoyed about it and not everyone wants to do it, but for me, I really need that structure. So I've really been enjoying going in. We'll see what it's like once more people get in, because we moved also to an open floor plan, so it's just a lot of being on, but so far it's been really great. And yeah, that's basically my life, is work and knitting. I'm hoping to audition for a show this afternoon, this evening. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it happen. I don't know if I'll get in, but we'll see what happens. If you hear nothing else about that, well then, yeah. But yeah, no, things are good. It's still such like a weird world in which we live, right? It's like people are doing more and things are like opening up, but like also COVID is still a thing. So like, what level do you do stuff with and not, and all that good stuff. So, you know, life. The one knitting thing I want to talk about was Excel. Since I last podcasted, I like completely transitioned my knitting life completely to Excel. I track every stitch I knit. I've been doing that since April 1st, 2020, or no, August 1st, 2020. I've so far tracked 1.3 million stitches, and in the past rolling 365 days, I have knit 1,020,000 stitches, and I'm on track to have 1 million by the end of this 2021 year that we are in. Which is really cool. I like have all these tracking templates and projections, and I have a project tracking template, and it's really fun. So, you know, every day, depending on the project, I might like plan everything out and put it in my fancy projection spreadsheet. If it's something where I don't think I'm going to knit on it consistently, I just like track the number of stitches in Excel, and I always, when I knit, move my stitch marker up. Depending on the project. Sometimes it's really easy to tell. Like this one I moved it up, but I probably didn't need to, right? Because I can see what row I'm on now in this pattern repeat. But like if I'm doing the body of a sweater, you know, always move the stitch marker up. It also is really nice to see how much you get done in a day. I find that very satisfying. So yeah, I do a lot of Excel-based things. My yearly tracking spreadsheet is for sale on my website. If you're interested, BackstagekatKnits.com. You can click on yearly tracking spreadsheet, I think, in the header. So yeah, that's really fun for me. I am a giant Excel nerd. I use Excel a lot in my work, and for some reason I also like to take it home in my personal life. So that's that. It's been really fun, and yeah, I think I've run out of things to say. Babbled a little bit more than I meant to, but we've kept this just under half an hour, which is perfect. I hope you all enjoyed watching this. If anyone did, let me know if you're interested in seeing this again. May or may not happen. Won't be with any sort of consistency, just as I feel like it. So yeah, hope wherever you are, you're having a wonderful day, and I may talk to you all soon. Bye!